So it looked like Nike has found themselves in a world of trouble after this big-time Super Bowl commercial.
Did you see what Nike just pulled? They dropped a fresh ad right after the Super Bowl, and fans are losing it, but not in a good way. Caitlin Clark, the biggest name in women's basketball, was featured in their Super Bowl commercial. Hype levels? Through the roof. But then, Nike turned around and dropped a promo for a t-shirt with her face on it, and completely ignored her name. Every other athlete got a shout-out. Caitlin? Nothing. It's like she wasn't even there. Fans aren't just confused, they're heated.
And then we're going to have a couple Caitlin Clark cameos here and there just to appease everybody, okay? Just to appease everybody. That's what we're going to do. But the day after, that's when we really roll out the real commercial.
You know that feeling when you're flying high and then, boom, the ground disappears beneath you? That's exactly what just happened to Nike with Caitlin Clark. 1 minute, they're riding the wave of a huge Super Bowl ad. The next, they're caught in a full-blown social media firestorm. Let's break it down.
Less than 24 hours after a big-time Nike commercial that pretty much starred Caitlin Clark and other women athletes, Nike had found themselves in serious hot water after another commercial that has been released about the t-shirt I reported on yesterday.
Picture this. It's Super Bowl Sunday and Nike drops an epic commercial. Right, there, front and center, is Caitlin Clark, looking every bit the superstar she is. Fans are hyped. Social media is buzzing. Everyone's talking about how Nike finally got it right by showcasing one of the biggest names in women's basketball. But then, things take a turn.
You want to know what I'm selling? I'm selling greatness! Asia Wilson, 3-time MVP. We got Jordan Childs, we got Juju Watkins, we got Sha'Carri Richardson.
Okay.
We got Arena Sabalenka.
Champion.
Hustling is not easy, but I love it. Sabrina, I know you want a tea. Thinking about it? You're thinking about it. They're gonna go fast, kind of like Sha'Carri. I accept card. Where's the card? Come on.
Oh, wait, for what's that box?
These don't come out till March. They may or may not be shirts, but if I tell you, I'm gonna have to kill you. Oh, you want one of these? Nike.com.
The commercial was a hit, no doubt about it. But then, things took a weird turn. Nike followed up with a promo for a special edition t-shirt featuring all the athletes from the ad. Fans were locked in, expecting to hear Caitlin Clark's name. But nothing. Every other athlete got a mention, except her. Just silence. And that's when the backlash started rolling in.
It was reported that Caitlin Clark will be featured on a Nike t-shirt alongside everybody else that starred in that Nike commercial yesterday at the Super Bowl. Well, I'm here to tell you, they released a new ad in regards to that t-shirt and the one with Caitlin Clark with the light bulb, and she's pretty much the A. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I reported on that last week, man. Why did Nike do this?
Can you believe it? Nike actually left out Caitlin Clark's name. The same Caitlin Clark who was front and center in their Super Bowl ad. The same Caitlin Clark who's been shattering records and changing the game. It's almost like they forgot she existed, and fans are not letting it slide.
That Nike has, and as y'all can see, that's the shirt with all of the athletes that featured in that commercial on it. Something that stood out among the Caitlin Clark fan base is them not mentioning Caitlin Clark's name at all in this whole damn ad.
You might be wondering, how did Nike fumble this hard? Well, it gets worse. Fans didn't just catch the omission, they were outraged. One fan tweeted, "Why is Caitlin Clark the only one not mentioned?" And honestly, it's a fair question. If you're going to put someone in your biggest ad of the year, wouldn't you at least say their name?
The other person said, y'all never beaten the allegations, Nike. Why put Caitlin Clark jersey in this BS? If this lady won't say her name, and she should, dumb.
Nike found itself in hot water, not just with confusion, but with outright frustration from fans. One critic didn't hold back, saying, "If you're not even going to acknowledge her while naming everyone else, just drop her and let her sign with a brand that actually values her." Ouch. That's a tough hit for Nike.
So, the WNBA, heck, women's sports, it seems, has its own Lord Voldemort. She who shall not be named. Because we saw ESPN of every single female athlete that appeared during the Super Bowl, named all of them. Named every single one of them. Except number 22 from Indiana.
And it didn't end there. The internet exploded with fury. Fans were calling out Nike, with one saying, "You guys are a bunch of clowns." The backlash was so fierce it felt like Nike tossed all the goodwill from that Super Bowl ad straight into the flames. It got even worse when fans started comparing Caitlyn to he who must not be named. Yep, one fan even dubbed her Lord Voldemort in Nike's marketing. Talk about a magical marketing disaster.
After we had such a great time during the Super Bowl yesterday, this is crazy, man. I don't know who the admin is over their PR or with these commercials, but they don't like Caitlin Clark, bro. It's clear as day that they don't like her.
Here's where it gets really worrying. This isn't just a one-off mistake. Fans are calling out a pattern of missteps. From delayed sneaker releases to lackluster marketing, they're saying Nike has continually dropped the ball when it comes to supporting Caitlin Clark. It's almost as if Nike just can't figure out how to handle one of the biggest stars in women's basketball.
Somebody
Being released.
Now, fans are furious, like boycott furious. Some are already talking about hitting Nike where it hurts, their wallet. One person even said, "No Caitlin Clark mention, no money." It's clear people are ready to back their favorite player, even if it means walking away from a major brand.
They named all of them. And now with Nike, they're listing out the names of this. And of course, who do they ignore? The number 22 out of Indiana. Let's take a look at the Nike commercial. And by the way, the most popular of all these sports people is number 22 out of Indiana.
Did you see what just happened? Nike's Super Bowl high just came crashing down, and fans are absolutely furious. This fan base went from cheering to full-blown rage in record time, like witnessing a slow-motion train wreck, but with tweets flying at lightning speed.
Somebody said, "You guys are a bunch." You know what I'm saying? Like, it was right there.
Let's dig into some of the most fiery takes from Caitlin Clark's army of fans. One supporter didn't mince words, saying, "If you're not even going to mention her name while you mention everyone else, just drop her and let her sign with a brand that actually values her." Ouch. Can you feel that burn, Nike?
Yeah, like at this stage, look, at this has to speak a word out of their mouth. She's Lord Voldemort.
You might be thinking, surely it's just a vocal minority, right? Wrong. The outrage is spreading faster than a highlight reel. One fan captured the mood perfectly. "It's looking very spooky in the Nike department." Spooky indeed, because this isn't just about one ad anymore. Fans are connecting the dots, and they don't like the picture they're seeing.
So, like, you put all...
Here's where things take a turn. Remember when I mentioned fans were on a mission? Well, they're not just tweeting their frustrations, they're banding together. We're seeing full-on movements sprouting up across social media, all with one clear message: justice for Caitlin Clark.
I wish Caitlin nothing but the best, and I don't want to believe it's Nike, man. I really don't want to believe it's Nike, the brand. I want to believe it's the people that work for Nike, you know, that keep dropping the ball on this Nike dog.
These fans aren't just asking for an apology or a simple fix. They're demanding recognition and respect. And they're not afraid to hit Nike where it counts, right in the wallet. The talk of boycotts isn't just chatter anymore. Fans are seriously considering walking away from the swoosh if Nike doesn't make things right.
Somebody else said, "So you make this ad and you mention everyone else except Caitlin Clark. She is the reason for all of the hype. Show the respect she deserves. Can't wait for CC to go with another brand. Will respect her. Your history is bookmarked." I really don't want to believe it's Nike itself, but it's looking real spooky in the Nike department, bro. Like, we have been getting like late news when it comes to her sneakers, late news when it comes to her shirts, and it's just been looking real spooky from the Nike department, bro.
But Here's the kicker. In trying to avoid controversy, Nike might have just created its biggest PR nightmare yet. One fan highlighted the absurdity of it all, saying Nike treated Clark like Lord Voldemort. You know, the one whose name must not be spoken. It would be funny if it wasn't so infuriating for Clark's supporters.
And it's looking like a lot of Caitlin Clark fans is keeping receipts with all of the hours later, and not even mention her name. The level of disrespect is at an all-time high.
You might be wondering, is this just a one-time mistake, or is it part of a bigger issue? Well, fans seem pretty convinced it's the latter. They're not just upset about this one ad, they're frustrated with what they see as a pattern of disrespect. And let me tell you, they're not letting Nike off the hook anytime soon.
By the end, if she was to negotiate that deal right now, it would be minimum 10 million a year, and she signed long term for 3 million a year. The Under Armour deal was so much better. 4 years, 16 million, and immediately being what the Aaron Fox is and the face of the Curry line. And you got your signature shoe basically straight away. You go to Under Armour, 4 year, 16 mil, and the history of the sport.
You might be thinking, all right, Nike messed up one ad. What's the big deal? Well, it's a lot bigger than that. This isn't just a one-off mistake. It's a pattern that keeps repeating itself. From delayed sneakers to marketing blunders, we're diving into every instance where Nike dropped the ball with their top star. And let me tell you, it's not a good look.